Hari Om. In this part, we will explore the meaning of the 11th Shloka of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. Ajas Sarveshwara Siddha Siddhi Sarvadi Rachitaha Vrisha Kapirame Yatma Sarva Yoga Vinushritaha. Now, let's examine the meaning of this shloka. Ajaha has several meanings. One who is unborn or never born. One who is the remover of all obstacles. One who moves in the hearts of his devotees. Or one who removes the ignorance from the hearts of his devotees. And finally, one who is the root of all sound, Akshara, A. This nama also occurs 2 more times later in the Sahasranamam. The first meaning is derived from Najayatha iti ajaha, one who is not born in the traditional sense. Sri Adi Shankara gives the following from the Shrutis to support this explanation. Najatho najanishyate, he was neither born nor will be born. This is from the Rig Veda. He also cites the following verse from the Mahabharata's Shanti Parva. Nahi jatho najayeyam najanishye kadachana kshetragya sarvabhutanam tasmat aham ajasmritaha. I was not born, nor will I have a future birth. I am the soul in all beings, hence I am called the unborn. Sri Parasara Bhattar points out that Bhagavan is Swayambhu and he only emerges. There are several interpretations of the nama Aja using the meaning movement for the root Aj. Ajagati Kshepanayoho. The root Aj signifies movement or throwing away. Sri Bhattar uses this meaning and interprets the name to mean that he is the remover of all obstacles that his devotees encounter and helps them accomplish their objective of reaching him. Sri Adi Shankara uses the same meaning for Aja as a movement and comes up with the explanation Ajati gacchati kshipati iti va ajaha, he who moves in the heart of his devotees. The story of Prahalada is a great illustration of how the Lord comes to the rescue of his devotees. According to mythology, sage Narada taught Narayana mantras to Prahalada when he was in his mother's womb. From then on, he was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Prahalada was born to Hiranyakashipu, an evil Asura king, who had been granted a boon that he could not be killed by a man or animal during day or night, inside or outside. Hiranyakashipu over time became so arrogant that he wanted everyone to worship him instead of Vishnu. Despite several warnings from his father, Prahalada continued to worship Vishnu instead of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had enough of Prahalada's contempt for him that he decided to poison him, but despite his efforts, he survived. Then he led wild elephants to trample him, but Prahalada survived due to the divine grace. Hiranyakashipu then decides to put Prahalada in a room with venomous snakes, and still nothing happens to Prahalada. Finally, he seeks the help of his sister Holika, who has been blessed with the boon that she would not be hurt by fire. So Hiranyakashipu decides to put Prahalada on the lap of Holika as she sits on a pyre. Prahalada prays to Vishnu to keep him safe. While Holika burns to death, Prahalada is unscathed. This event is celebrated as the festival of Holi. Exasperated, Hiranyakashipu challenges Prahalada to show him his Lord. Lord Vishnu emerges out of a pillar as the half-man, half-lion Narasimha avatar who kills the king at the entrance to his home at dusk. The story of Prahalada demonstrates that God will come to save his devotees who have reposed unflinching faith in him. Sarveshwaraha has 2 meanings. One, who reaches all who seek him. Second, one who is the Ishvara for all the Ishvaras. Sri Parasara Bhattar derives the first interpretation from the root word as, which means to pervade. He is Sarveshwara because he quickly reaches all those who take refuge in him. Sarvesham Ishwaranam Ishwaraha Sarveshwaraha. The Shruti says Isha Sarveshwaraha from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. He is the Lord of all lords. Siddhaha means one who is available for his devotees to remove all their obstacles. Sri Parasara Bhattar's Vyakhyana as Swarupenaiva Bhaktanam Siddhatvat Siddhaha Uchyate. He is in the hands of his devotees in his true form. A Siddha can also mean one who has accomplished all that has to be achieved. Sri Adi Shankara gives the interpretation that he is ever perfect. Nitya Nishpanna Rupatvat Siddhaha. Siddhihi. The word Siddhihi literally means accomplishment, success. Bhagavan is Siddhi because he is the ultimate goal or accomplishment for his devotees. He gives the ultimate fruit of action, which is moksha or salvation. Sarvadihi means the origin or the cause of all things. Sarvesham Purusharthanam Adihi Sarvadihi, or Sarvabhutanam Adhikaranatvat Sarvadihi, one who is the very beginning of all, or one who was in existence earlier than anything else. He is the infinite which was before creation and from which the creation emerged. Achyutaha has two meanings. First, one who has never slipped from his glory. Second, one who never lets his devotees slip. Sri Parasara Bhattar points out that he does not ever fall from his position of lordship, unlike Brahma or Indra, who are subject to laws of their position. Hence, he is called Achyuta. From the Mahabharata we have Yasmat Nachyuta Purvoham Achyutasthena Karmana. Sri Adi Shankara and Sri Parasara Bhattar have interpreted the above Shruti slightly differently. Sri Shankara's words are Swarupa Swamarthyat Nachito Chavatena Chavishyatha iti Achyutaha. He has not lapsed, is not lapsing, and will not lapse from his glory. Hence the name Achyuta. Sri Bhattar's interpretation of this Shruti is as follows. I have never abandoned my bhaktas. Because of this act of mine, I am known as Achyuta. His words are Tebhyaha Prapannebhyaha Na Apagataha Achyutaha. He is never away from those who have sought refuge in him. Na Chavayati iti Achyutaha. One who does not let his devotees slip. Arjuna called Krishna as Achyuta, who has taken upon himself to be his charioteer and who will not let him slip. A third meaning is pointed out by Sri Radha Krishna Shastri, who says Bhagavan is Achyuta because he does not slip from stage to stage in the sequence of events such as birth, living, growth, change in appearance, decay, and finally disappear from the body. He is eternal. Vrishakapihi means one who lifted the earth from the waters of adharma in the form of Varaha avatar. In Mahabharata, the following verse appears. Kapir Varaha Sreshthascha Dharmascha Vrishavachyate Tasmat Vrishakapim Praha Kashyapo Mam Prajapatihi. The word Vrisha means dharma, and the word Kapi refers to boar. Pa means to protect, and Ka means water, and so Kapi refers to Varaha incarnation, where he protected the earth from the depths of the ocean. The story of Varaha Avatar. Hiranyaksha, the son of Kashyapa and Diti, and the brother of Hiranyakashipu, had obtained boons from Brahma through penance that he will not be killed by a deva, human, or asura. Hiranyaksha soon becomes arrogant and takes the earth, who is goddess Bhudevi personified, and hides her in the primordial waters. Brahma seeks the help of Lord Vishnu, who then assumes the form of a Varaha, a giant wild boar. Varaha takes the size of the space between the earth and the sky with huge tusks and goes down to the primordial ocean to retrieve the earth. In the ocean, Varaha encounters Hiranyaksha, who obstructs his path and challenges him for a duel. Ignoring the demon's threats, Varaha lifts the earth on his tusks. Hiranyaksha charges towards the boar in rage with a mace. The two fiercely fight with maces. Finally, Varaha slays the demon after a long duel. Varaha rises from the ocean with the earth in his tusks and places her gently above in her original position as the gods and the sages sing Varaha's praises. Swami Chinmayananda points out that the name derives from the fact that he protected the earth from the ocean of adharma in his Varaha incarnation. Ameyatma means one whose nature cannot be comprehended. Ameya means unaccountable or incomprehensible. Swami Chinmayananda indicates that Virat Purusha form of the Lord is suggested here. His self or nature is such that it cannot be measured by any particular standard and determined. Sarva Yoga Vinasritaha has two meanings. First, one who is beyond any form of attachment. Second, one who is easily attained by all means by his devotees. The word yoga can mean union or can also be interpreted as a means to attain something. Depending on which one of these interpretation is chosen, we get a different meaning. Vinasrita means gone forth or out or escaped. Using the first meaning for yoga, we get the interpretation that he is free from any and all forms of bondage, and so he is Sarva Yoga Vinasrita. Using the second meaning, Sri Parasara Bhattar interprets that he is attainable easily by all means. Yogaihi upayaihi vivisheshana Veda Parama Guhairyava Nisrutaha Praptum Yogaha Sugraha Itiva. Hence, the Lord can be attained in many ways. Srimad Bhagavatam lists 9 different ways of reaching the Lord. Bhakti or devotion is one of the easiest ways of reaching the Lord. Hari Om Tat Sat.